it's cool if you want to put him in there as a gay character, but it doesn't mean anything if there's no actions to support that. Because if you just say he's a gay character in a description or a name, then you're pandering, in my opinion. You kind of have to like put your actions behind it. Before we get started, Christian, I have someone here who would like to make a very important announcement to the people out there.
The scallop! I'm gay.
Congratulations, Mr. Bob, aka Sponge. SpongeBob has let everybody know that I am completely out. I know a lot of you guys thought that my manly demeanor made you think I was completely straight, but no, SpongeBob SquarePants, from what we know today, is officially, for a lot of us it was unofficially, but he is officially gay. How do we know? Because this was confirmed in a tweet from Nickelodeon. They put this out here celebrating hashtag pride with the flag with the LGBTQ plus community. Thank God for that plus. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You're saving a lot of us some time right there. Glad you realized that. I don't have to offend anybody, and we can all save some time. Very convenient. But you can see here that they say they want to thank the community and their allies this month and every month. A pretty rainbow. And right here you see that we have a character from Avatar, The Last Airbender. I have no idea who this guy is. It looks like Jason Alexander from Seinfeld.
Seinfeld,
It looks like gay Kramer. Not Kramer, but what's his name?
Costanza.
George Costanza. It looks like gay George Costanza. But over here getting the biggest block in bright gay colors is SpongeBob. I would have, and everybody's assuming that they say, hey, since you're talking about that's the ally, that SpongeBob is gay. Now, I don't know, maybe SpongeBob is a straight ally of the gay community, but I don't know why they would put him in the company of other gay characters. I'm assuming, again, that George Costanza is gay right here. Who is that character, man?
Where's Walterson at? He said it the other day, and sadly, this is the limits of my knowledge because I don't know who gay George Costanza is, but I assume he is, in fact, a part of the tribe, you know?
Yeah, I'm assuming that he's part of some Nickelodeon kid show, and he has to let the kids know, before mommy and daddy get mad, yes, I like dick. So, just to let y'all know.
Wish cartoons would go there, because that's honestly my issue with this whole thing, which is I always think it's a little weird when you make a character gay after the fact. Is my same issue with the Dumbledore thing. Yeah. But I mean, it's also one of those things in pop culture. We've all kind of agreed that, like, yeah, SpongeBob's gay, right? But it has so less to do with like what defines him characteristically as a gay character, more than he's just like, nah, he seems like a gay character. I don't know how else to explain that, right? Because this is the wishy-washy, like when I was growing up, right, before like gay marriage was like a thing and everything was widely accepted, there was this whole false idea about being gay somehow meant you were less of a man. Your masculinity was defined on whether you liked women or whether you liked men. You know what I'm saying?
And SpongeBob has definitely proved that that's not the case.
Right. No, definitively. And I think that's, I look at it as a situation where, like, I'm glad that it's out there. And of course, like in my opinion, he's probably the most successful cartoon probably in my lifetime. You know what I mean? Like, since I've been born, I can't think of someone who's reached that same kind of level. It's going to be interesting to see how people react to this because, it's still kids entertainment, whether adults still watch SpongeBob or not. And, there's going to be some faux outrage about it. But what are your thoughts on it, man?
Let me tell you my thoughts on this, man. Thank you for asking. And nice to hear your thoughts on this too, sir.
Of course, Bobby. Yeah, go ahead.
No, first of all, I don't think that anybody is surprised by this, so I don't know why anybody would have any kind of outrage. I mean, even people who are homophobic have looked at SpongeBob and said, "Oh yeah, that motherfucker gay." It's not surprising to anybody, and I want to congratulate him on coming out. That's great. Good for you, man. I'm glad that you can be who you are, be free, and be happy. I also want to say, so what? I mean, listen, I don't like this shit, and you mentioned it yourself. I don't like this whole thing of okay. Don't let me get too serious with this. First of all, don't let me say what I like and don't like because I don't want to go too far with this. But I am a little skeptical. Not mad, not upset. I'm a little skeptical about the post-gay thing. You know, when you have a character that's been around for a while, and then somehow retroactively, in a safe kind of way, all of a sudden you say they're gay, and you know, I'm happy for the gay community if they're cool with this. I'm happy that he's an ally. I'm all for people being who they are and fighting for everybody's rights. But let's not play, man. First of all, it might not make a difference, but you ain't the first one to show up. You ain't the first one. You late to the game. You're late in the game for kids' properties having gay characters. So if y'all are like looking at this like, oh my God, a kid's show with a gay character, we've all seen this before, and I don't think that's really the big deal. But it's been out there for a while, so I don't think it's that weird for anybody. Thanks to Christian over here. Christian has put up some great examples of that. My good brother in birthdays, Arthur the Aardvark, y'all might remember a show where there was a wedding and everybody thought that this chick was the bride because their teacher, who was a guy, was getting married. And no, he was walking down the aisle with his dude.
Then who is Mr. Ratburn marrying?
And she looked at him like, so when you coming out?
Listen, also, that wedding is way too elegant to be a straight wedding. They're playing Bach on the cello. Like, look at that thing, man. We should have known from the set design.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a little plush. You know, I love it. They got they invited their gay friends. Like, this man over here got a lot of sugar up his ass. You can see her. In fact, he's looking like shit. Should have been me. You know. It's it's a little plush over there, man. But I'm happy for them. This is not the first time kids have been exposed to gay characters in cartoons. Clifford the Big Red Dog said, "Oh my God, I got lesbian neighbors. Got them lesbians next door. That's awesome." And you brought up it's not really kids' property, but hey, J.K. Rowling, she appears to be not crazy about the trans, but very happy to say that Dumbledore is gay. As we've mentioned and we've talked about, and also a little controversial doing that post-gay thing, which they've kind of addressed in Fantastic Beasts. But even some characters, and thank you, Christian, for pulling this up, man, because I've never seen this before. I mean, I'm not surprised, but I'm glad to see it. Confirming what we all know, Ernie and Bert finally revealed to the world their gay relationship. And they did it, and I love the way they came out. They showed the world their gayness in their very own homemade porn.
Wow, it's floppy. It's floppy like a garden hose.
I like the way he just came
reaction,
right there too. Oh, don't stop. I gotta also admit, I didn't know. I mean, I don't know how his girth is, but I didn't know Bert was so long. That's like across the room. But yeah, where'd you find this, man?
Just searching. I don't know. I did a lot of research because, like you said, I think that people are overblowing this a little bit. My beef with it is, of course, the after thing. But like you showed Clifford, Arthur, Steven Universe has had an LGBTQ plus, nailed the plus characters. So it's like this isn't a new thing at all. And my beef with it is like what I would think would be way more powerful is if SpongeBob would be introduced as like that as part of his identity. Now I know people are, by the way, being like, why do we care about the sexual preference of a cartoon character? But like, again, it's like, this isn't just a cartoon character. This is like a thing we see in the Macy's Day Parade. Yeah. Like for the last 21 years, kids have all like grown up, and this has been one of the few constants,
Yeah, no, but you know what my problem is, and I think what a lot of people's problem is, because I think a lot of us are like, okay, no big deal. So what? Except for the really uptight assholes out there who just cringe at anything different, especially, thinking that there's still people out there thinking like exposing kids to gay characters all of a sudden creates pedophiles or warps minds, and you're fucked up if you think that. But mostly if you're normal, man, and you're an open-minded, cool person, nobody gives a shit. What I think is weird is that, they're doing this now for gay pride, and it's like, all right, that's cool. Now what? What's the next action? Because for me, unless at some point I see SpongeBob Patrick, this whole gay thing means nothing. And look, they don't even have to each other. They ain't got to pull an Ernie and Bert sex tape type thing. What actions are we going to see with SpongeBob to justify that? I don't give a is holding hands, a smooch, a love letter, him looking at a picture of Patrick lovingly about to reach down into his sponge pants, his square pants. I don't. It's cool if you want to put him in there as a gay character, but it doesn't mean anything if there's no actions to support that. Because if you just say he's a gay character in a description or a name, then you're pandering, in my opinion. You kind of have to put your actions behind it.
Yeah, no, I mean, and again, that's kind of my issue with the Dumbledore thing. Now, she had an opportunity in that first Fantastic Beasts movie to address it properly, but instead, I remember the quote like it was yesterday. It will not explicitly be a gay relationship, and I was like, okay, what does that even? Like, explicit makes it sound like there's should be a parental advisory sticker slapped on it. Like, no, these are just people. People can whoever they want. They can love whoever they want. And so, why don't we do the heavy lifting? Now, J.K. Rowling, at least in her defense, she's alive. She could make the call to do whatever she wanted. I get a little weird about this because Stephen Hillenbrand, who just passed last year from ALS, he was asked about this years ago, and he's just like, oh, to me, they've always just been asexual. I don't know why anyone's really focusing on that. So it seems a little weird that Nickelodeon's come a year after he died and then try to be opportunistic. Even if I'm 100% behind it, I still feel weird about it, you know?
That's even weirder. And of course, like I said, I have no problems with the character being gay, but that's even more problematic to me because now you've taken a character where the creator said he's asexual. Okay, I'm not going to go in this real heavy thing of respect the creator's wishes, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I described them as asexual. And now you're just kind of using him as a political tool, or a social tool, something to, pander to a certain demographic. And I don't think that that's cool either, man. The guy said he's asexual, and all of a sudden you retool him to be gay just so you can, jump on board some, movement out there. Which, look, me, people, I'm fine. But, I'm very particular about how people put, how they support movements, which we've been talking about the last few days. I don't like pandering. I don't like just labeling things and doing the easy thing. I don't like easy hashtags, and I don't like taking a character and just saying, all right, you know what? Let's just call him gay for the sake of calling him gay because gay people really like him or we've been joking about him being gay. All this shit is a little weird, man.
Totally. And look, we're both straight, so please, people with a different perspective who are certainly have more skin in the game than we do. But I kind of look at it as sort of like patronizing pandering too, because it's like, look, the gay community already kind of took him. Like they didn't need your confirmation that he was gay. They had already kind of propped him up as this indelible spirit that always perseveres. You know what I mean? Like this overwhelming optimism. And so I look at it and I'm like you, man. It's like, look, on the surface, on the whole of it, I'm fine. I don't really care. This is inoffensive. No one should be mad about this. But I just look at it from a very kind of weird perspective because it seems like, it's purely a political thing. It's June. It's Pride. And I think their hearts are probably in the right place. It's just like, it does rub me the wrong way a little bit because of the Stephen Hillenbrand thing, Well,
now I'm mad. What about SpongeBob's rights? What about asexual rights?
Right. Yeah.
What about
let's die on that hill for sure.
If the sponge says that he's asexual, why are you gonna try to force some sex on him? Why are you gonna try to fill those holes with things he don't want filled? Filled with. That's another thing, man. The character's asexual. Why are you trying to force him to be something he's not? Everybody should have a voice in this, and apparently everybody does have a voice except Bob. What about him? I don't know. It's a weird thing. I'm not that mad about it, but I'm like, it's the whole thing just seems phony. The whole thing seems fake to me. That's all. I mean, cool. It's not. Hey, look, there's a lot more shit going on to be worried about a non-existent cartoon character's sexual orientation. So I'm not gonna spend all day on this, but man, but since y'all put it out there and it is part of a bigger issue, let's call it for what it is, man. It doesn't seem sincere. the way they did it. Nothing about this seems sincere. They say if he was gay, it wouldn't even be Patrick. They say that he would be all over that David Hasselhoff.
Yeah. He already rode that ass once for sure.
He sure did. He's riding that ass right now. Look at and he's like, oh yeah, SpongeBob. Yeah, man. Anyway, not a big deal. Nothing to go in there and go crazy about. But it doesn't seem sincere. It doesn't seem genuine, is what it is. I'm gonna call it out for that. So whatever. Let's see where it goes.